Captain's log, stardate 6942.0. We have encountered an alien vessel of unknown origin. All attempts to make contact have been met with a strange, pre-recorded response, but we must keep trying. Number 1, hail the craft again.
Aye, sir.
Hello, and welcome to Domination. Please remember, we mean you no harm. We intend only to spread fun. Lower your shields. Resistance is futile.
What's up, Domination? It's me, the Jim 1000.
Wow.
I like it.
Hey, it's me, Emma. I forgot to come up with a pun name, so deal with it.
Terminator.
Terminator.
There you go.
There we go.
Name sorted. Done. Tick.
As you can tell, Emma might be phoning it in a bit on this episode.
How could you tell? Was it that obvious? I was trying really hard.
What's your name, Ken?
I am the badass, the main character. I am Sarah Kenner.
I like that name. Well done.
Do you have something to share with us?
I'm badass, and I'm with child. Who is going to be the child is going to be the leader of the future resistance who fights against the machines.
So you decided to be the female Kenner rather than John Kenner?
I didn't think that through, but yes.
Okay. No, I'm just clarifying. Like I know physically he wasn't in the movie, but he was mentioned, so you could still use him.
He was kind of in the movie.
In the womb. Is that what you're going with? He was a fetus at the time.
I feel like I identify more with Sarah than John, because Sarah's like,
Because you were alive?
Well, yeah, that too, yes. I'm alive, and at the end of that, like at the start, Sarah's sort of meek and, she's like, and weaker and not being able to look after herself. And I want to be like her, and in the future, I'm going to be strong and tough and independent.
Don't need no man.
Yeah,
Strong, independent woman.
Sarah Kenner needs a man. Strong and independent, yes.
Oh, man. Oh, it's 2020, Ken. You do you. Like this world, this year has just gone to shit. So you do whatever you need to, all right?
Yeah, I'm not going to yuck on your yums here, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for not yucking on my yums.
I definitely have a lot of questions, but you do you, boo.
Okay.
Speaking of not yucking on people's yums, what's been your best ISO discovery of recent memory?
Fast internet is amazing.
Oh, that's right. Ken upgraded to the NBN.
Woo! Yes, my upgrade for season 4. I now have 50 megabits per second internet.
I was going to say, it is the NBN, so it's kind of just a grade, not an upgrade.
Whoa. Yeah, okay, just yuck on my yums right there, why don't you?
You said you weren't going to do that, Jim, and then you went
Jim.
around and you yucked on his yums.
My yums are all yucked up now.
Sorry,
well,
Ken.
welcome to good internet speed, Ken.
Thank you.
It's great.
What about you, Emma? What's your ISO discovery?
I actually don't know. I feel like I haven't done anything with my life.
What about like a TV show? Anything that you've watched recently you could recommend?
Well, look, okay. When was the last time we spoke to our friends? What can we tell? Okay, what has Emma done?
I was going to say like yesterday. Oh wait, you weren't on that call.
Among Us?
Oh yeah, that's right. We've all gotten into the Among Us, haven't we?
Yeah, Among Us is one of the greatest games ever created. I also finished watching all of Criminal Minds, so that was great. I've started watching Peaky Blinders. Great show. Can recommend. And what else have I been watching? I watched Ratchet on Netflix. That was a good one. Oh, The Boys. That's finished now too, season 2.
Ooh.
Holy shit balls. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't you dare! I haven't seen the last one yet.
Oh, Jim. Oh, get on it.
I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the last 7.
What the hell, Ken?
It's thematic because they're the 7, and I haven't seen the 7.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
the
And I
dumbest
watch a lot of
rationale.
dumb shit.
Whoa.
Oh, Ken. You need
Everyone
to watch
yucking on my yums today.
I'm
God.
yucking on that yum because that's dumb.
Okay.
But yeah, look, so basically Emma's isolation thing is that I've watched a lot of TV.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I also
Me too.
did go for a 50-kilometer bike ride yesterday, and then I
Yeah.
thought I was going to
Well
die
done.
last night. So that was fun.
Holy moly. Yeah, no, that I read that really late, but then I was like, holy crap, what the hell? Who
Yeah,
are you?
that's why I
Who
said to you
even
guys
are
that
you?
I was going to bed early because I was actually on the couch like with the world's biggest migraine and neck pain, and I was in bed by like 8:30 last night, and I was so sad because I was so amped for Among Us, Sunday night Among Us, and I was not among you.
I also had quite an active weekend. I had ice cream cake and then a 3-hour nap on Saturday.
What the hell?
Oh, jeez.
Ice cream cake? A whole ice cream cake?
Not all to myself.
What kind of ice cream cake are we talking?
You know the Freddo one with little Freddo frogs in it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Do I
yes.
know the Freddo ice cream cake? God, Jim.
Gosh.
Oh, I know that cake so well.
Oh, I miss me some ice cream cake.
Oh, man. Do you know that Peter's one is pretty good too?
The one that it's like 3 colors?
Yeah, they're like the Neapolitan cake.
Yeah, that one's
What's
good.
funny is that like that Freddo ice cream cake has become like the thing that we do at every single like birthday in my family now. It's fantastic. Mum will be like, "Oh, what cake do you want?" And everyone's like, "The Freddo ice cream cake." I don't know how many times we have to go through this.
Oh, man.
And it becomes a competition as to who got the most Freddos.
That sounds
Man,
great.
that's a great competition.
That's great.
Nope. That's
Is
it.
that how we
That's
resolve?
That's how we
tiebreaker?
resolve ties from now on.
I'm
We
okay
come
with
together.
that.
We cut up a cake into thirds.
I may need to run on the treadmill as I'm doing it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I might need another 3-hour nap.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna throw it now.
3 hours.
I'll put my body on the line for this podcast.
So we do have some follow-up before we get to the show proper. So we got some follow-up to our Disney villain draft episode.
Yeah.
So we got an email that said, "Oh my God, I cannot believe the comments from that so-called guest star you had on this week's episode. Her views on masculinity during the French Revolution have shaken me to my core. Gaston is one of the biggest villains in the Disney catalog. Why couldn't he just leave that poor beast alone, just as his and Belle's love began to blossom? Granted, great muscles. No one drinks like Gaston. Love that other guest you had, though. Damien near stole the show. Nick's a dick. Love to the World Dom crew. Signed, redacted. Sent from Damien's iPhone."
Oh my
Lovely.
God. I feel like that's exactly. Thanks, Damien. I feel like that's exactly what
Whoa,
happened.
redacted.
Sent from Damien's iPhone.
Thanks, redacted.
Could have
Oh,
been
thanks, redacted.
anyone who sent it from Damien's iPhone.
Isn't that what happened last time when Damien sent an anonymous thing, but it came from like his first name?
Yeah, first name, last name, email address.
Oh, Damien. God love you, Damien.
Mm.
It was a fun episode, that one.
Yeah.
It was really interesting hearing it back, because obviously when we were recording it that I didn't hear what Jim, like you and Dee, were talking about, or Ken, what you and Damien were talking about, and actually listening to it back was it's quite entertaining.
It was fun to record, but it was terrible to listen back to. You guys talk so much shit about me.
I got a text message from my mother, actually. I told her that we'd released a video, and the text message from my mother went, "I fast forward through it, but I got the gist. Are you seeking revenge? Maybe challenge Emma to a game of our old family favorite, Who Am I?"
Nice.
And then,
Is this the Connect 4 episode or the Disney episode?
oh, sorry, this was the Well, Dom Does Connect 4.
Oh, the Connect 4. I was like, you weren't even, how did she think that you were like competing in the...
No, sorry, this is Well, Dom Does Connect 4.
I think I told you guys when I was watching that with my family, and like it was actually really entertaining watching it with other people, because they were like, "Oh, if I was you, I would go there and I would do this," and it was actually quite entertaining. It was quite funny.
How did you win this?
There's a lot of pressure. Like and because you and I had no idea what to talk about, because we were both
Yeah,
like,
we also had to try and
focused
be
on
funny.
it. So
Yeah.
you were like, "Oh, I hope Ken's saying some good things."
I was.
Ken did
It
well,
worked
yeah.
out well.
Panic speaking the whole time.
Yeah. No, it was good fun though. Now I look, the pressure's off. Actually, there's probably more pressure on me now, because I've won 3 seasons, and now it's like, oh shit. And now we're on to sci-fi. So here's your chance, guys.
Yeah, one of us has got to pull out our A game in
Yeah,
this
we
season.
have
Ken.
to do this. We gotta.
I think you'll be okay.
Also, the YouTube studio is being super passive aggressive towards me when I opened it up to check how the World Domination Does Connect 4 was doing. It says, "This video has gotten 14 views since it was published. That's 13 more than usual."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Thanks, YouTube.
Oh man, how many of those were you, Jim?
Normally, I'm the one giving it the 1 view just to check that it all worked.
So there's 13 other people.
Yeah. One of them
Well,
might...
technically, I watched it with my family, so there was like 5 people watching it at once.
Mhm. I can tell you the average view duration is 5 minutes and 19 seconds out of the 16 odd minutes.
Aww.
That's kind of sad.
Does that mean we don't get the ad revenue?
Oh, Ken, we were never getting ad revenue from this.
Mate. It was amazing.
You need to get 10,000 views before you get any ad revenue.
That's a lot
Interesting.
of views.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more than we've got, I can tell you that much.
My mum was asking me as we were watching it, she goes, "Isn't this a video?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the action? What's happening?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Mum."
This is something like I don't like this. This is kind of my first foray into like video editing, and I think for like any like future episode, because like I upload all of the episodes onto YouTube, and I think for any of them going forward, I'm going to be uploading them with like some motion, so you like it's more of a video rather than just an image.
I'm pretty sure you can get those memojis to like copy you. So you should do that.
No, that's too hard.
Like-
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through After Effects and just get the little bubbles to pulse in time with our speech,
Oh, yeah.
so you can tell who's talking and when.
Cute.
Our
Yeah.
fans will know.
Yeah.
It's like, when you're listening to a band that you love, or like probably more like boy bands and stuff, when there's multiple people singing at once, and you get to that point where you can figure out who's who.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. Although I'd like to think that people know my voice compared to you two.
I do have a list of potential future tiebreaker games here, Emma. Guess who is the first on the list?
Yes.
Then Monopoly.
Ugh.
I've got Risk for a 3-way tie.
Ugh.
Snakes and Ladders, which is kind of bullshit because there's no skill to that game. Battleship and Uno.
Who sunk my battleship? Did you know they've come out with a new Uno now?
Uno flip.
Yeah, Uno Flip.
Explain.
It's look, I didn't look into it that much. I saw like a 10-second video and then skimmed over it. But it's basically like there's different cards, like it's the usual cards, but there's a couple of new cards in them. So one of them might be flipped. So you have to actually flip either the next card on the deck over, or perhaps you flip the whole deck over. Or you
Ugh.
might have to pick up the whole deck or something. Like it was just, it looked all.
Yeah, and there's like 4 new colors or something.
I
Yeah.
don't trust Uno after they came out and said you can't put a draw 4 on a draw 4.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's
It's
bullshit.
alright,
They don't
Uno.
know how to play their own game.
We'll take it from here, Uno. Thank you
Yeah.
for the cards.
Who was
But-
it? Thanks for the cards.
Yeah. But yeah, look, Uno's a great game, but it's caused a lot of fights. And I think a lot of them you guys have also been involved in or been witness to. So look, we're all still friends, so it's okay. But
I normally just win, so no fights here.
ugh, no, you don't, Ken. You never win.
I win sometimes.
I've won at least one time.
Yeah, I was playing by myself, but I still
What,
won.
are you sure you weren't playing solitaire?
It was solitaire with Uno cards.
What?
I don't think that's how Uno works, man.
Shut up! I play Uno because Uno is Italian for one, and it's for one player. Shut up!
So what do we got on tonight, guys? what are we doing? Oh boy.
Oh,
Who's
boy.
going to tell him, Jim?
But speaking of the seasons, I did have one other piece of follow up. I think you might have said this to me when we had lunch one day, Ken, but you had like spoken to someone who was like, "Oh, what happened to doing 5-episode seasons?"
Yep.
To which my answer is, "Fuck you, I'll do what I want."
We changed our minds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
This is the thing. We do what we want.
Ad hoc.
We see how we feel as the season's going on, and if it's getting a bit tired, then we'll cut it. If it's going great, then we'll keep going.
Fair
Give
enough,
the
fair
people
enough.
what they want. And fuck you, whoever that was.
Wow.
You're not my dad.
They're my friend. Oh, speaking of dad, Jim, do we have another email by any chance?
Another email.
About Jim's dad. How's Jim's dad's like fan club going?
Yeah, I didn't I read that one aloud on the last episode? The one from Jim's dad's fan club manager?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I thought I read that out on the
Oh.
last episode.
Thought there was another one.
Oh God! All your bloody work people sending in email. What about Emma's dad? He goes all right.
He's less of a mystery. We know he likes Top Gun.
Yeah, true.
Oh, and was living with a friend of theirs, and was suffering because they weren't getting to watch whatever TV they want.
Oh yeah. As you were saying that, I was like, "What are you talking?" Yeah.
How's that going, by the way? Are they all moved in?
Yeah. They're
Nice.
living in their new place. They go down to the bloody pool every morning,
Oh wow!
do
Damn.
their laps,
Oh,
and
Damn.
I feel like every single day they make a new friend, so they're enjoying it. Anyway, the last few times I've gone over to mum and dad's, there's been like a plastic plate with cookies on it. And I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm not going to complain. This is pretty great. But they weren't fantastic cookies. And Mum's like, yeah, the lady next door has been dropping them off. And so she's like, now I feel like I've had to make her cookies. And now they have like this unspoken like competition.
Oh gosh.
Of just like biscuits and God knows what else. So we've told Mum like what she needs to do to step it up, what cookies she needs to make next to like just like win the game.
Swear to God.
And it's great because I mean it's not great for my waistline, but oh man, it's so good.
Emma, I've been
No,
craving
Ken.
those cookies for like years.
What
Years, Emma.
Years, mate. It hasn't been years.
It has
Yeah.
definitely been years. When was the last time I had one of those cookies?
Not years.
Definitely years.
No.
Okay, think about it. When was the last time? When was the last time?
All he's saying, Emma, is hook him up. Hook a brother
Yeah,
up.
hook me up with some cookies. Seriously.
No. What do I get out of this?
What? My undying friendship and love.
I've already got that. What?
No, you
next?
don't. Not anymore.
All right.
Give me cookies
One less,
and then
one
you
less
get it back.
Christmas present to buy. That's fine.
Damn it. Ugh.
This relationship is not transactional, Emma.
Have you met me?
Speaking of transactions, we did have one kind of piece of follow-up to go through before the show proper starts.
The most important one.
Yeah, the most important one, at least for, living.
Where is this going?
Staying alive, rather. Or,
Bit of a sticky topic.
for us continuing to feed our families.
Me and my cat.
Yeah. We have merch for sale. So
Woohoo!
at the moment, we just have a set of stickers. We're just going to keep things simple. So we've got a series of stickers based on our show art for each of the seasons. And then we also have 2 special stickers, one of which is Fun Facts with Emma sticker.
Which you want.
And the second one, which I know at least one person out there is dying for, is a Jim's Dad's Fan Club sticker. If you guessed the person being my dad, you are correct.
What about the manager? Jim's Dad Fan Club manager.
Nah, I don't know
JFC.
I don't know for sure that they want one, but I know my dad definitely wants one.
Is that what he's getting for Christmas?
It's one thing he's getting for Christmas.
But, friends, if there's anything else that you would like to see merch-wise, let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe you want a clock. I don't know. Maybe you want a coaster. I don't know. You let us know, and maybe we'll think about it.
Maybe you want me. I'll definitely think about it.
And and thank you, Damien, to being our one sale so far before we actually told anyone about it. Thank you. Are you ready to jump into the movie?
The Terminator.
All right. So we should actually start talking about the thing we're here to talk about tonight.
What?
So what did you 2 think of The Terminator?
Amazing.
Emma?
Yeah, I definitely had thoughts, eh?
A masterpiece.
Look, the
The CGI could use some work there.
Yeah, the effects.
yeah, that has not held up.
Yeah, the effects don't age great. Haven't aged great.
I have seen The Terminator like quite a few times. I don't hate it, but would I watch it willingly ever again? No.
Really?
I was watching it again. Like, it's been a few years since I'd watched it, and I was watching it the other day, and like there was some bits where I was like, oh man, this is cool. But then there was a lot where I was just like, I just feel like there's no real, like, I know there's a story, but it just kind of like was the most simplest story, and it just kind of went nowhere for me. I don't know.
That's the great thing about this movie. They're secretly slasher movies in disguise. Like, it's basically it's basically Friday the 13th, but with robots.
Wow.
Which you would think that I would be very into.
I know.
But look, it's not terrible, but it just, I think maybe I wasn't in the right mind space to watch it as well, and it just dragged. So it's just, look, yeah.
What? In 2020, you didn't like a movie about a mindless killing machine?
Maybe it felt a little bit too close to home, Jim.
Yeah.
Maybe I, like, what year was it? 2036 or whatever it was. Maybe I felt too close to that, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. Kyle Reese was fighting in 2021 to 2027. And I was like, oh my God, that is close.
I know.
It doesn't feel far off though. Like I think that's what it was.
They were so optimistic about like when they thought the first artificial intelligence would become aware. Like, I know in the second one they say there's some shenanigans about them having access to the CPU from the first Terminator, but Judgment Day happens in 1997. In 2020, I have to tell a computer what a pedestrian crossing looks like to log into my email.
Which one contains traffic lights?
Yeah.
And then you freak out because part of the traffic light goes into the other box and you're like, do I click this one?
It's got like
Oh,
the one
yeah, those are the
pixel
worst.
in the. You're like,
technically. Yeah, look, like it's movies like that, like even Back to the Future and stuff like that. And you're like, oh man, I feel like we should be so far.
Yeah, I want to rehydrate pizzas. Gosh.
Yeah. I want a bloody hoverboard.
Did you guys ever watch a TV show called Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law?
I'd seen bits of it, but no.
I've seen like comic strips, but that's it.
It's about a cartoon lawyer. He's like a lawyer that represents cartoons. And there's an episode where he represents the Jetsons. And they come into his office and they say, we're from the far off future of 2002. And he looks at his desk calendar and it says 2004.
I like it.
So does one of you want to give a rundown on what the Terminator is for those people who...
Oh, I got this.
Don't know
I
what
got
it
this,
is?
guys.
Go, Ken.
Go,
Okay. So in the near future of 2021, AIs were developed. And we got something called Skynet, which is like a super computer network that we gave a lot of control to because, they were really smart. So we gave them like security control, and then they decided that humans are the biggest threat to the world. So they decided to nuke everyone.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. They're definitely not wrong. Wow, they are bad for the planet. Yeah, they nuclear holocaust the place. But, not everyone died. And John Connor, the son of Sarah Connor, came out and started banding people together to make a resistance. In 2029, they started winning against the machines. Due to this, the Skynet sent back a Terminator back to 1984. A Terminator is a powerful a robot with, a metal endoskeleton with organic material on the outside. So that makes them look human and also allows them to travel through this time machine that only transports organic material.
That's the biggest line of bullshit in the entire movie.
I know, right?
All of the other science in the movie I can kind of get behind, but the bit where they're like, it's something about a field generated by a living organism. I'm like, all right, James Cameron, just like give it a rest, all right? Sorry, Ken,
just
go on.
try to make things work, they are. And then a fella called Kyle Reese, one of John Connor's lieutenants, gets sent back along with the Terminator and to stop the Terminator from completing its mission of killing John Connor's mother, Sarah Connor. He succeeds in stopping and also somehow managed to father the child.
He impregnated.
He manages to be John Connor's father.
Yeah.
Ugh. That whole thing, oh my God.
Yep.
Every time I watch it.
It's even weirder when you realize that James Cameron later married Linda Hamilton.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are they still married?
No,
That was
not for 20 years.
Fair enough. That was the point where I gave up on the summary and I just wrote bar, car chase, parking lot, car chase, police, motel.
Yeah, the rest
car
of it is
chase,
not relevant.
I feel like that's about it.
dead.
That's
Yeah,
fine. That's fine.
The
Mexico.
crux of the part that we're focusing on tonight, Mexico. The crux of the movie that we're focusing on is the sending a robot back in time to kill someone before they're born part of the plot. That's the part that we've got to focus on.
Yep.
Having said that, I love all of the little details of this movie. The movie is so well done and so memorable. Like, I don't know why, but so many of the lines are just committed to my memory. Like the very first line when the truck driver can't start the garbage truck and he goes, "What the hell?" Like, I don't know why, but that line is just burned into my brain. Or the
Oh God.
where Sarah drives her scooter to the diner where she works and she parks it next to the little hamburger mascot and says, "Got it for me, big buns."
Yeah, I love that so much.
It's so 80s.
It's offensively 80s. Like
It really
even the
is.
soundtrack, like it's like they pulled a John Carpenter and said, "We got no money, kid. Guess what? You're doing the score," and handed James Cameron a synth.
Oh, that music is so cool.
I didn't include it in my fun facts, but I do remember reading something about a lot of the sound effects in it are like the composer hitting pots and pans together
Yeah.
and then like smashing it all together in the end. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like I would not put that past that movie.
I love that kind of practical Foley work, though. Like, it gives movies like that a
Yeah.
real charm. Like, in Star Wars, like the laser like the blaster noise, that pew pew noise, that's made by, like steel wire that like holds up, like, like on a television tower, how you got like the steel wire holding the TV tower to the ground.
Yeah.
They made the pew pew sound by whacking steel wire with a hammer.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Makes that like noise.
Yeah, now I can picture it.
Yeah, I just love that kind of practical
that's cool.
Foley work.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love watching those like videos on YouTube and stuff when you see how like different sounds are being made, where it's just like some dude like aggressively eating carrots or something, or like it's actually quite funny.
Speaking of being unrealistic, how old do you think Sarah Connor is in the movie? Not Linda Hamilton. How old do you think Sarah Connor is?
I would have put her at like, well, she was at
20s.
a bar, so she's got to be like 24, 25.
Yeah, I was going to guess 25.
So Linda Hamilton was 27 when the movie was released. Sarah Connor is 19 according to the script.
How did she get into the club?
Oh.
She paid like $5.
Or maybe can you get into clubs when you're over 18 but you just can't
Wait,
drink?
how much was it to get into that pub? What pub? That bar, was it $4 or $5?
I don't know.
Not important.
That's a good trivia question, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the script says that she's 19, but this is confirmed by the sequel, where it's set in 1995, and the doctor says that she's 29.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
So she was 18.
Yeah.
Good God. Well, you know what? That makes a little bit more sense to me as to why she couldn't keep it in her bloody pants after knowing this guy for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're in, 1 minute they're in the kitchen making fucking pipe bombs. Next minute they're bloody making a baby.
I don't know. Understand
come
how
on.
that's
Making
romantic,
pipe
Sarah.
bombs really gets me hot and heavy.
It sounds like
yeah,
a porn
calories.
euphemism.
Yeah, like
I'm here to lay some pipe bombs.
Hey.
I just love when
Nice.
it's actually I do love that scene, and she's like on the phone to her mum, which is actually the Terminator, and like when it goes and it flashes to like Arnie sitting there on the phone, and it's like with the mum's voice.
I love how he's holding the phone in that scene as well. He's holding it like you would hold like fine china with like the tips of his fingers.
To be that strong. I feel like if he held it normally, he'd probably crush it with those huge biceps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Arnie.
So what do you think of Arnie in this movie?
You know what? I'm an Arnie fan. Like, I do love him.
What's funny is that I always had this perception that like this was like because this is one of his first movies, he couldn't like speak any English.
Yeah.
But turns out it was just James Cameron trying to be a dick and give him less lines than Arnie's previous movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I do know that that he had asked for the famous line, "I'll be back." He had trouble saying "I'll," so he asked James Cameron whether he could say "I will be back," and he tried to argue that like a robot wouldn't use
contractions.
Contractions, and he's like, "No,"
Aw.
because I think they'd already like produced the graphic novel or something by then. So he was like, "No, it's I'll be back in the novel, so you have to do it that way."
It's also just such an iconic line, and "I will be back" just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same like.
That really sounds like an answering machine.
Yeah, I will be back.
Between the hours of 9 and 3.
But if he said "I will be back," will that be the popular saying now? Who knows?
I don't know if it would be as popular. That's the thing.
If only we had a time machine.
But I do like the obviously the other famous line of "Come with me if you want to live." I do like that.
Like I said, I love so many of the lines in this movie.
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning when the little kid tips a thing of ice cream into Sarah's like apron. And her friend there goes, "Just think, in 100 years, who's going to care?" I love that. It's such a nice little bit of foreshadowing.
Oh wow, I didn't even think that.
Yep. That kid was a little shithead though. Also, who would waste ice cream? What a shithead.
Yeah.
Have you met little children? They don't care. They just throw things on the floor.
Yeah, but not ice cream. Kids are idiots.
Kids are idiots. Kids are basically drunk little idiots.
Yeah. I was we had family night the other night and my niece was just screaming about pasta. Pasta, pasta, pasta. And you're like, oh, okay. You want some pasta? Okay.
Sounds like me.
And she learned a new word. Pasta.
No, that's their fucking favourite word though, man. She loves pasta. Pasta. Pasta.
What is it with kids
Emma,
and carbs?
Go away. Don't touch me. Oh, okay. I'll just go away then. Oh, man. Anyway.
Carbs
She
are
loves
great.
me and then she hates me. So it's fine.
Aw.
I love getting my niece into like logical paradoxes. So like you tell her like go away, and then you like go away, and then she says come back, and you go, but you told me to go away, and you can see like the cogs turning in her head of like
Yeah.
Oh crap! You're giving her too much power. She's gonna be so sassy.
No, I do the same thing. Like, I used to with my niece, like, get really offended when she'd be like, go away, or whatever. And now it's just like, yeah, right, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she'll like stare at you from the distance and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Should we talk about the plan?
Yeah, what
About the villain's plan?
Well, I guess that is the plan, isn't it? Isn't it that he sends a robot back in time and tries to kill the maker of the person,
The
who's gonna-
resistance.
the
Yeah.
resistance leader,
The
really.
resistance leader.
What is the logic behind that? Like Reese says in the movie that the machine's battle grid had already been smashed and that the war had been won. The machines must know that sending a Terminator back in time can't possibly change that because it's already happened. So the only explanation is that working under assumption that this will create like a branching timeline and that hopefully in the branching timeline, Skynet wins. Just seems like a weird investment of resources to make a time machine that can only help another version of you.
Maybe Skynet is a robot utilitarian, so it wants like all the other timelines to succeed, even if it's at its own failure.
But maybe
Yeah.
it's like they didn't think that they maybe hadn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things that like if you don't do it, you don't know. Like they had to send somebody back because what if they hadn't done that in another timeline and they had to do it in this one to make sure that potentially what if they did stop it?
Sorry, what do you mean? How do you mean?
Like so you're saying what's like that the resistance had already won. So what's the point in sending them back?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that Skynet has to be working under assumption that what they're doing creates a branching timeline, like in Back to the Future.
Yeah. So the point is that they're going to have to do it anyway because
Yeah, they were destined to do it.
yeah, like you kind of they're either destined to do it or you've already lost. What have you got to lose?
But
like
this
you might
is
as well
the
give
thing.
it a red hot go.
I don't know how that destined to do it argument can work because like it creates a problem for the central time loop of the story. Like how could John Connor know that Reese is his father? There would have to have been an original timeline where nothing was sent back in time and John Connor rose to be the leader of the resistance without any time intervention on the part of Skynet.
This is time fucking travel confuses the hell out of me. Like whenever it's in any movie, I get so bloody wrapped up in my head and I just don't get it. But like, because on the flip side, obviously Kyle Reese didn't know he was John Connor's dad, but John Connor knew that it was his dad because Sarah said that she was going to tell him. So he obviously knew, so he could send the correct person back in time to, which would be so weird to know that, but whatever. But then surely the Terminators or whatever, they would have known, Skynet, they would have been able to know as well.
Yeah.
And then the key is if you don't send, but then, this is where I just get confused because if you don't send them back, then therefore the time loop technically shouldn't have happened, but it already did. So how does
No.
Oh, God.
If you don't send a Terminator back, they won't have the CPU to create as the basis to create Skynet in the second movie.
But how did Skynet get made the first time before something got sent back in time to create Skynet?
Maybe, you know what? I don't know if like this is the thing, right? And this is where I get so confused because I just think the more you think about it, the more it doesn't make sense.
Is like the only movie that successfully dealt with this issue with the time travel is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, when he goes, "Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed." And Basil Exposition is like, "I suggest you don't think about it too much," and then looks directly into the camera and goes, "And that goes for you too."
Yeah. But
Nice.
because that's the thing. Like the more you think about it, the more it just does not make sense. Because anyway, it is what it is.
Maybe the Terminator and the timeline. It's a hellish loop that humans go through for ruining the Earth. Yes,
I mean,
it's just
maybe.
it's just hell. It's just hell.
Hell is
And we're
robots.
looping over hell.
Look, I mean, if this is what 2020 is, I mean, it's probably not that far off for 2021.
Oh no!
My favorite not explanation, but like my favorite, I guess, fanfic explanation for 2020 is that like the aliens left the simulation a little bit longer than they expected, and they're just going to come back at the end of this year and be like, "Oh fuck, sorry."
Oh God, yes. Please flip it back to normal. Oh yeah, it's in chaos mode right now. So is Skynet the
Yeah, Skynet is the villain in
is
this
it
movie.
villain?
Yeah.
I couldn't even think of the word villain then. Good God. Skynet is the villain, right?
Skynet, yeah.
So what do you guys rate them? What do you think?
I think Skynet is capable, smart, thematically great, but they really messed up with the time travel.
They really did, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
And
that's not Skynet. That's James Cameron.
Yeah.
Like, let's cut Skynet some slack. That's James Cameron.
Fair. And they had really bad security for a time machine. Like, how do you let like other people into your time machine, like following straight?
I don't think
after
it was
the Terminator?
intentional. Like they say, and this is like one thing that I'll give props for the movie, is that they explain that like this was the machine's last ditch effort. Like humankind had already won. Skynet had no hope of winning in their present timeline. Their only choice was to try sending something back through time. And like as the human forces took over whatever Skynet's compound was, that like where they were like their base of operations, they gained access to the time travel machine and saw that they'd already sent something back in time.
Fair enough.
Well done, James Cameron. That part makes sense.
Yeah, that part
Yay!
makes sense. Well done.
Yeah.
So what do you guys rate it?
I overall give it a 6 out of 10.
6. That's pretty harsh.
Oh,
Mm.
harsh. Okay.
New me, new season, new Ken.
Who dis?
Sarah Kenner.
Ugh.
Emma?
Look, I don't really know what the rest of their plan was. And obviously this part of the plan that we're looking at is like the last ditch effort. So I feel like that part I'm probably going to give a 3. I just feel like there wasn't that much thought in it. Sending a robot back to kill somebody. They didn't even give him a picture of which one she was.
They
Yeah,
didn't have
that's
a
true.
picture. It's after a nuclear holocaust. They didn't know what anybody looked like
He's
or
a
where they
fucking
lived.
robot, Jim.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, can't you like reverse like what John Connor looks like and then like go back and figure out the
Or
DNA?
use some sort of like, I don't know, I don't know. It's a bloody
I know what you
robot.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Use
Or
some
maybe
sort of
give
machine
him
learning
like
thing.
maybe
Yeah.
get him to memorize a phone directory before he gets there. Like, you know, he had to look for a phone directory. How did he even know what a phone directory was? Damn.
I mean, he's a robot. He's not.
But also, if you're going back in time, would you not know like where they were going to be at this point, or are you just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to that year?
Again, this is another good point in the movie's favor. Kyle Reese says that basically all of the records pre-nuclear war have been destroyed, and the machine
okay.
has like nothing to go on.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Fair,
It just
fair.
knew where
Alright.
she lived, like what
What
city.
city? Yeah, and that's fair. Look, I already know at my doctor that I used to go to, there was like 3 people with the same name, so that's fair.
I think I'm going to give it an 8. Like the only thing
Whoa.
the only thing that stops it is like them sending. I don't know. It's just
Have I
luck.
rated it way too harsh? Am I just not thinking?
The only thing that stops the Terminator is luck, basically. That Sarah the final confrontation takes place in that like machine shop. That's the only thing that stops Sarah from surviving. There wasn't their intention to go to that place to have the final confrontation with the machine. It's just pure luck that the thing ended up in that like compressor. I don't know what you call it, the hydraulic press.
Hydraulic
thing.
press.
Yeah.
Which surprisingly is a fantastic machine.
Yeah.
But
But
I've
like
watched many a YouTube video of them. Yeah. I feel like I've been too harsh now, but you know, I'm gonna stick to my guns. It is what it is.
we have the magic of editing, Emma. I can just edit over whatever
No,
number you
but
want
like
to
I
tell
feel
me.
like I stand by that. I didn't think it was it was going back in time to kill some. Like maybe it is a good. It's not the worst plan, but I just feel like yeah.
It's a good plan if you're working on the assumption that whatever you do here creates a branching timeline where another version of you has a chance to succeed.
Which you would assume is what was going to happen. Like, yeah, but obviously not because it was a fucking loop.
Which I think I haven't seen the most recent Terminator movie, but I think they go into a little bit that everything is like branching timelines as the Terminators and people go back and forth across time.
Right. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of them. Most of them,
I've only ever seen the first 3. I haven't seen
I think
any
I've
of
seen the first 3.
Yeah.
And I'm on this one. I'm genuinely just focused because I do not. I remember bits and pieces, especially from Terminator 2.
First one, second one, genuinely excellent movies. Third one, yeah.
Is the third one with that female one?
Yeah.
Yep. The TX.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna maybe moving on in the season. Maybe I'll be a little less harsh, but I think maybe look, because I know that somebody's gonna get angry at me. I'm gonna throw it out there now. I know that I'm being harsh, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I get it though. Like, you know, they fucked with time travel, and it really wasn't a great plan. Even if you treat it as a last resort, that's a shit last resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, well, we might as well travel.
Exactly. So free, I understand.
To be fair, they'd already used all the nukes, so like what other option was there to them?
But this
Create more
is
nukes.
this is the thing, because I mean, and this is where I'm coming from, that if I'm just focusing on the part of the plan that we like actually focus on now that we know of, is that they've traveled back. Whereas if I was looking at from start to finish and knew what their overall plan was, I mean, they failed, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. Cool. So before we get into our plans, are you guys ready for some fun facts?
That I am.
Fun facts with Emma.
Fun facts with Emma. Yeah.
What do you got for us tonight, Emma?
So, did you know that the idea for the Terminator came from a nightmare that James Cameron had?
I'll say.
Ooh.
Yeah. His dreams are fucked up. So he had
Was
dreamed
Titanic
of
also another nightmare?
probably.
That was a wet dream.
Although I will say Avatar is our nightmare.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Oh.
I actually like Avatar.
Nah. Sorry, go on, Emma.
Anyway, so he had dreamed of a solid chrome torso crawling out of an explosion and dragging itself across the floor. So as soon as he woke up from that, he quickly cooked up a story of a robot assassin sent back in time to kill the woman whose son will become the savior of humankind. So at the time, he had actually been, I think he was in Rome, and he was filming a movie called Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Wow.
And he got talked into doing it. He didn't want to do it. He's hated it. And I believe since then he's like disowned it.
Yeah.
So he says that The Terminator was his first movie, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah. I'm inclined to give him the credit as Terminator being his first movie because he also wrote the movie.
Yeah. No, totally. That's fair.
Whereas I don't think he wrote Piranha 2, The Spawning.
No, I don't know. He must have been, I think he was living in his car at the time or something. So he must have said yes as a, I need money
Yes.
type thing.
Which is fair. We've all
Which
been
is
there.
fair when you're living in your car, yeah. Oh, I haven't been there. So the studio wanted O.J. Simpson to play the Terminator. Can you imagine that? And Arnie was originally due to play Kyle Reese. Can you imagine OJ as Terminator?
Do you know the reason why they didn't pick him?
No.
The producers thought that OJ was too nice to be convincing as a killer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Can you imagine if they'd actually gone through with it?
Oh, wow.
Orange juice.
This movie did not age well.
No. Well, that part wouldn't have aged particularly well. I think this movie's aged pretty well, apart from the special effects.
So initially when James Cameron was going to be meeting with Arnie, he didn't want him to be involved in the movie, so he was planning to, but the studio wanted him to be involved, so he was planning to pick a fight with him and then storming back into the studio and demanding a different actor. However, after they met, he wanted him to play the Terminator, so he went back into the room and was like, I don't want him to play Kyle Reese. He is the Terminator.
I get that. Like, say what you will about Arnie, but he seems like a very charismatic man.
Oh, yeah. I freaking love, am I like attracted to Arnie? No, not at all. But do I love him? Yes.
Yeah.
Hands down. Sting was considered for the role of Kyle Reese as well. He was apparently offered a whopping $350,000 to play.
Wow.
Other considerations outside of Arnie originally were Bruce Springsteen, Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis, and there was a few other people as well.
I've got a whole list here. Do you want a
I
list?
had the whole list. I mean, you can read out the list if you want. I narrowed it down to a few, so it wouldn't be like reading out 20 names.
I don't know if the mic caught me cracking my neck there, but we got Tom Selleck, Kevin Kline, Mickey Rourke, Ron Perlman, Chevy Chase, Michael Keaton, Alec Baldwin, Robin Williams, Jack Nicholson, Martin Sheen, Kevin Costner, John Travolta, Harrison Ford, Richard Gere, and Michael Douglas.
This movie would have been so weird with any of those people.
I know.
I only know who Tom Selleck is because I watched him Meet the Robinsons.
Can you imagine a Terminator with like a thick moustache?
He would have been great.
Was this for the Terminator or was this for Kyle Reese though?
This is for the Terminator.
Hey. Tom Selleck as the Terminator. Oh, I'd watch that. Robin Williams, that would have been weird.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't have been. What, they thought O.J. Simpson was too nice, but they were going to do Robin Williams.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jack Nicholson I'd get.
Yeah, but I just don't think, maybe back then in the 80s it was a little bit buffer, but I just don't think I just can't see past what Arnie is, like the whole thing of it, what it is now.
That's the thing. I don't think the plan was to have the Terminator look like Arnold until they got like Arnold involved. Like the James Cameron original idea was that they looked like an everyman so they could blend in. That's their whole idea.
Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
I think Robin Williams can do a
it makes
great
sense.
like stone face.
The idea that like they look like a bodybuilder because like they need to hide all of the robotics didn't come into the script until like very late in production.
Yeah. Yep. So, speaking of like the skeleton and whatever, it took 7 separate artists working around the clock for about 6 months to create James Cameron's vision of the Terminator skeleton puppet. And the final skeleton weighed more than 100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And so if we stick on that topic, because the robot, when they had built it, it didn't walk naturally, they developed the storyline that the Terminator developed a limp after walking out of the fiery truck. So that when it shed his skin, that it made sense as to why it walked a bit funny. And I remember watching it like the other day.
It's so goofy.
When it's like walking up the steps, and I was just like, it's going to trip. It's going to trip.
Also, that bit where that, you know, there's one shot in the movie where like the Terminator is trying to bash through the door into the machine shop, and that they've done like the worst like green screen you've ever seen to the Terminator on the other side of the door.
It's so bad. And even when he's like fixing his eye and like the fake face that it's got.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man!
I will say that's one of the other lines that's really committed to my memory. The line where they go through like the Terminator vision, where the guy like knocks on the door, is like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? You got a dead cat in there?" And they go through the Terminator vision, and he selects "fuck you, asshole." I love that so much.
Did you know I was when I was reading online before that you can still get Terminator mode on if you have an iPhone 2?
What?
If you have iPhone 2, there's like a code that you can key in on the phone and you can get Terminator mode on it.
Fucking sick.
Terminator vision, yeah.
But that is kind of fitting. I don't know if this is one of your facts, Emma, but the text that scrolls by in Terminator vision is the ROM assembler code for the MOS 6502, the CPU of the Apple II, but it's written in hexadecimal.
Ah.
So basically the Terminator runs on a 6502 processor, which is what like the original Nintendo Entertainment System ran on.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's great.
Oh, man. No, I did not have that as one of my facts.
I will watch out for my Nintendo.
I leave those
Entertainment
kind of
System.
like really super nerdy facts for you, Jim, because I know that's your jam. And I don't want to yuck on your yums. So the financiers of the movie, they had 2 suggestions for Cameron. The first one was to strengthen the relationship between Kyle and Sarah, which obviously happens, and maybe that's where they got locked in the fucking time loop. And the second one was for Kyle to have a cyborg canine companion.
Fuck, can you imagine how like
how great that would have been?
great cyborg dog. Oh.
Can you imagine? It would have been like, I'm picturing one of those, in the 90s when we grew up and they had those little toy robots.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what they were called, but that's exactly what I was picturing. Oh, man, I had one and it was great. Oh, man. So this probably is a bit of a callback to what you were saying before, Jim, but that Arnie only had 58 spoken words in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the Terminator himself has a few more lines, I think, like in terms of
where he's impersonating people, the police officer and the mum. Yeah.
In Poland, the film was released as The Electronic Murderer. I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
You have watched that.
I have. But even if it wasn't the Terminator, if it was the Electronic Murder, I'd be like, all right. It sounds like one of those really shitty movies that Damien would like get and then tell people to watch. That he just finds randomly. Like I'm sure there is one. And the last one I got here is when James Cameron was trying to woo the studio, he had an actor who was in his Piranha 2, Lance Henriksen. He showed up at the meeting decked out in costume as the Terminator. So he broke down the studio's office door while wearing a ripped shirt, leather jacket, combat boots, and gold foil from a cigarette pack folded around his teeth. And they loved the gimmick and the pitch. So they greenlit the movie with a budget of $6 million.
I can just picture that. Imagine like James Cameron walking into a room full of like coked out studio execs being like, so I got this idea for a movie. Door comes kicking down. Dude dressed as a robot comes in and these guys are like, oh yeah.
I'm in. Sign me up. That'd be great. Man. And that was the fun facts I had. There was actually quite a few more, but I thought I'd keep it to ones that I actually found interesting.
I got one that I found interesting.
Oh, go for it.
So Arnie doesn't do the voice of the Terminator in the German dub of the film, despite being a native German speaker. And this is because he's from Austria, and to like people from Germany, people from Austria sound like farmers.
Ooh.
Like they sound like rednecks.
Oh my god, he wasn't posh enough for the bloody
Yeah.
Germans.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you were
Poor
going to
Arnie.
say Arnie didn't do the voice of Sarah Connor's mum.
No.
Also that.
Can you imagine that? That would have been fantastic if Arnie just like broke into like
hi,
impressions
sweetheart.
in the middle of the movie. Oh, hi.
It's me, your mother.
I'm worried sick about you, darling.
That actually sounds quite close.
But I love how like the Terminator doesn't even try to keep up a voice when he like hangs up. He's like, he calls the hotel straight up. He's like, give me your address there. Give me your address there.
Can you imagine taking that? Oh, I mean, if you're working in a bloody motel back in
Yeah.
the 80s, you'd probably get a lot of weird calls. But
Yeah, probably.
oh, give me your address there.
Give me your address.
Oh, okay, sure. Sure, you sound friendly.
You sound like a man who needs a motel right now.
You're not gonna murder anyone now, are you? Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, those robot dogs are called Poochies.
Do you remember Furbies as well? They were great.
Oh gosh, those are so creepy to me.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, can you imagine like something with the computing power of a Furby trying to take over the world?
Yes, a
Yes,
Furby.
I've seen the Terminator.
That's kind of how much computing power like the original NES had.
Oh my god.
Like I said, this movie is like woefully optimistic for like artificial intelligence progress, but I love it.
But you know what? Don't they have like robots in Japan that are pretty humanized?
Oh, that's right.
What's that dancing? Dancing.
Do you mean
robot?
like Asimo?
Is
Yeah,
that the one? Yeah, I think so. The one that looks like an astronaut?
Yeah, Asimo.
Yeah. See, he just goes around dancing, doesn't he?
Is it Asimo? Yeah,
It
Asimo.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
The one made by Honda.
Yes.
Speaking of Japanese robots and world domination, did you guys see that they made the giant Gundam move?
The what?
The giant Gundam. Yeah, that's not ominous for 2020 at all. Like,
Nope.
I
Not at
swear to
all.
God, if that's like what happens in December of 2020, I will not be impressed.
What is it?
So, you know how Japan has an obsession with robots?
Yeah.
They have built like 5-story tall robot
What? Why?
It was
They're
always
afraid
it's
of
always been
Godzilla.
there.
Why are they building
because
a
of
five?
Japan.
Because
to
they're
protect
afraid of
against
Godzilla. Yeah.
Isn't that what Mothra's for? No, Mothra's the bad one. Godzilla
No,
protects them against. Isn't
No,
Moth-
Mothra is the good one, yeah.
No, I thought doesn't Godzilla protect them against Mothra? Doesn't he defeat?
I thought Godzilla comes back and Mothra like protects them. It's been like a good
Oh,
decade
maybe.
since I've seen that movie, and I was
Ooh,
quite drunk at the
Which one's
time.
bad? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Maybe Mothra is good. What's the no? There's another bad one, and Godzilla like helps them. I don't
Oh,
know.
there's a dozen.
Oh, fuck.
Ghidorah, Mecha Godzilla,
All right, is that our next movie? After
No.
Man of
Mecha
Steel?
Godzilla. Although
Fuck no.
there is a speaking of Japanese mech suits, there is a company in Japan that makes like power lifting suits. So it's like you step into it and it helps you like lift very heavy things.
Why do you need that?
Why are people even going to the gym anymore?
It's for people who work in like warehouses and stuff like that. So you can like lift things onto trucks and stuff.
That's what you get a forklift for. It's already been invented, Japan.
Anyway, the interesting part is that the company is called Cyberdyne Systems.
Yes.
Why does that sound?
That's the company that creates Skynet in the Terminator movies.
I was
Oh,
like, why
gosh.
does that sound familiar? Oh, Japan, what are you doing? Surely somebody.
You'll be the
like-
you'll be the death of us all, Japan.
I feel like somebody, whoever created that company, was like,
You guys, I've got it.
don't ask me
Sorry.
where I got this from, but I've got a really cool company name.
It came from the future.
hell.
All right. Noticing the time, we should probably get on with our
Oh yeah,
plans.
probably. We've been shit talking for a while. This is what happens when we don't record for a really long time. We just like have fun, Jim.
So, my plan: robots don't need oxygen to breathe, right?
Oh gosh.
I mean, you're the one telling the story. You'd probably know more about robots than I
I think
do.
I know where this is going.
Robots don't need oxygen to breathe, right? Check. Logic checks out.
Yeah.
And if
Okay,
you
we-
have a machine to transport something through time, you also have a machine to transport it through space as well. That's why it's called space time. So, step 1, send like maybe 3 Terminators to Mars at some point in the past with a working knowledge of how to mine, process, and shape metal. So you send 3 or so, just in case one of them gets taken out by an accident. Step 2, turn Mars into Cybertron. Step 3,
Oh my God.
make sure you give your Terminators the goal of expanding to other star systems, and bam, you got yourself a von Neumann probe. And then bonus, Earth gets taken out in the as kind of a side quest.
As a side quest.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Of course, you would find a way to loop in your two favorite things: robots and space.
Yeah.
And
So well done. Points for that, Jim. Question though: who runs Skynet? Like, who started that? Like, is there a leader of Skynet that is human?
You find out in the sequel that Skynet was created to be like a smart autopilot for planes,
Mm.
and it was designed to like coordinate like all of the flights happening all the
That's
time.
right. Yeah.
And eventually they integrated that into national security, and that's when it got control of the nukes, and that's when it became self-aware, decided humans were a threat, and took everybody out. So there's no human in control of Skynet, but humans developed it.
Right. Considering the logic of this movie, I can't fault your plan. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what their plan is, right? Like, what do they want from this? Was it they just want us to get rid of the humans because then, therefore, like, your plan works, but it's like a side quest. You're like,
Exactly.
you're like going for universe domination. But
The beauty of my plan is you can send the machine back almost as far as you want, really. Send it back like 1 billion years. It doesn't really matter. The machines need like maybe 100 years before they have enough like metal and, equipment, and they've probably terraformed Mars by that point, but they only need like so much time before they can like expand out to Earth and other star systems beyond Earth.
yeah. But I guess the question there is then, obviously, with this whole bloody time travel thing, and who knows what the actual time travel rules are in this
Yeah.
movie, but you can't go back too far because then if you fuck up whatever, then you haven't been invented.
But like the whole premise of this movie is like there has to be a branching timeline, otherwise none of it could happen.
Well, I don't know. They didn't really explain that, so because it looked like a bloody loop to me. Oh God. Look, no, it was a good plan. I think I really enjoyed that you brought in space.
Space!
Space.
Did they have enough
Um,
resources to send 3 of them back if it was the last resort and they managed to send 1 back?
There's 3 canonical Terminator movies now.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah.
we know they have enough power to send at least 3 back.
Fair.
Disregarding all the movies and the TV shows and everything else that's not canon anymore, we have Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and the most recent one are like officially canon movies. Plus they sent like, we know they sent like 2 humans back, so there's like 6 entities going back right there.
Yeah, but we're not thinking about the other ones at all. So all we know at this point in time is that it was a last ditch effort and they were able to get 1 back and the human. We don't know any of the other stuff. I'm not trying to. Like, I am trying to pull your plan apart because that's the whole point of this whole section. But we're ignoring the other movies. So if we're just focusing on this one movie, all we know is that they can do
1 Terminator.
1 Terminator, and it was their last ditch effort.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I still think I still think my plan works reasonably well. Even if you can only send 1 Terminator back in time, you only need like 1. The other 2 were just for redundancy in my plan, basically.
Yeah. And I think as well, look, if we do think, I mean, is that 1 Terminator just up in space, like just by himself, like lonely as hell? Like that sounds lonely.
I mean, he doesn't know why you cry until Terminator 2, so we're fine there.
Oh, okay, that's fine in that case. But I guess as well, and not to help you, but if they decided that a little bit earlier, then potentially, like before the humans won.
Yeah, the whole premise of my plan is you send them back very far in time, like so far that the humans, like there are no humans to stop you. Like that could be 1,000 years, that could be 2 million years, could be 1 billion years.
Right.
Oh.
I was just more meaning that like you could like.
I picked Mars because like you need to send an organic thing back in time, but like doesn't need to be alive forever once you get there.
No, I more meant in terms of like when you chose to send them back, that you could do that before the humans won. So that way you had more power in your machines.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm sending them back very, very far back in time.
I think we're saying different things, but okay.
Okay.
All right. So my plan is very, very short, very sweet, very simple. Don't send them back. Like send them back when Sarah's younger. Like plan done. Like send her back.
How so?
Send them back. No, but like send them back when she's like 10 years old. That way One, she can't be impregnated because it's
Are you not familiar with the movie of Terminator? Are you not familiar with the premise of Terminator 2?
no, because we're only focusing on Terminator 1, Jim.
Okay.
We're focusing on Terminator 1 right now, Jim, aren't we?
I have something to say about this.
Sorry, Emma, continue.
But this is me genuinely focusing on Terminator 1, right?
okay.
We are not thinking of any other fucking movies.
Okay.
Terminator 1, send him back when she's younger. One, if they're back in time, because she's going to be one for the Terminator, she's going to be fucking a lot easier to kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two, kind of gets rid of the whole Kyle Reese having sex with her because she's 10 years old.
Oh God. Okay. Yep.
So therefore, John Connor isn't created. So if for some reason the Terminator fails, she can't.
I mean, you are familiar with the concept of linear time, right? Sarah Connor will become 18 eventually, yes?
Oh, but if he
God, that's so creepy. Cut this out, Jim, for the love of God.
Oh.
But she'll be killed. She'll be dead.
Okay, but I'm just saying, that point about Kyle can't become John Connor's father if you send Sarah Connor back to when she's 10. Eventually she will no longer be 10.
Yeah, but the point is, and this is where the confusion of the time loops and all that shit comes in, right? Because if we're thinking it's all like the one loop or whatever, if she's dead at 10, then she never makes it to 18 in any of the time loops.
I know, but what I'm saying is just for the sake of argument, if they manage to kill the Terminator when she's 10, eventually she will very soon no longer be 10 and be old enough to have a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the point is that 10 didn't work. All right, cool. Let's go back to when she's 8. Let's kill her mum while she's a fetus. Let's just go younger and younger.
Why not go back even further and
Kill her mum.
I was going to say, stomp on that fish what crawled out of the ocean, that little bastard. End all of our pain and suffering.
But this is the point, right? This is what I was thinking. Clearly it made sense to me, why they did it the way they did it and whatever. And it was blah, blah, blah. But go back in time when she's younger, and then that way she's a lot easier to kill. And if there's 3 Sarah Connors who looked, actually, no, there was a bit of an age difference.
Here we go. Here's my point.
You just got to go to one school.
I have 1 point against your go when Sarah Connor was 10.
Yep.
When Sarah Connor was 10 years old, she wasn't an adult yet, and therefore she hasn't moved out, and she wouldn't be on the phone book.
Ooh.
Oh!
Yeah, but you would know who her parents are. You'd go to the Connors.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you knew that, then wouldn't they have sent it back to kill the parents first?
No, you're still going back to kill her, but you just have to. The parents would be in the phone book.
This is where, not to denigrate my own plan or anything, but the logic of the movie is kind of they want to go back in time and kill Sarah Connor, but they don't want to go back so far that they could risk not being created.
Yep.
Oh.
So I feel like if she was 18 or 19 in the movie, that's only an extra 8 years. I feel like it's weird that I'm plotting to kill a 10-year-old kid, and I'm about to be killing a 10-year-old kid's easy. But
you are right, Emma. Killing a 10-year-old is easier than killing an adult. You are correct in that assumption. Yes,
and that way,
God, I'm going to end up on so many lists.
I've sort of held back. I only have a phone book thing to say. Damn it, Emma got us. Emma got us real good. We can't argue against her.
It makes sense. And this is me only focusing on the first one. We're not thinking of any of the other shit that comes in on any of the other movies. It's just this movie. And it makes sense. Go back to when she's younger. Cool. All right, that's my plan done. Yo.
Okay.
All right, Kenneth?
Kenneth thinks that, Skynet's got a fair amount of power with the security system already. So they should play the long game and and try and take care of the healthcare system as well. They bring out ways to make people live longer, put in universal healthcare. And then, one day we'll do a universal body check. Everyone gets a body check, and then we'll sterilize everyone.
Everyone?
Everyone. Okay. We say, okay, if people argue, we just go under the guise of, population control, and to maximize happiness, we have to keep the population under control. So we need to sterilize everyone. And then we tell them, it's definitely reversible, so don't worry about it.
I'm just going to sterilize you, but I'll reverse it later.
Exactly. I took inspiration from Jim's plan in the fantasy season.
Oh my
God. I don't know what you're talking about,
when we were talking about
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Willow episode.
I'm distancing myself from that episode.
The Willow episode.
The Willow episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, we sterilize everyone. And then eventually eventually the robots will outlive the humans, so that we all good there. In the case where that fails, they can send out Terminator sex dolls, Terminator sex robots. Okay. I got inspiration from that Rick and Morty episode, and also there's that Futurama episode where they did a documentary about like humans having sex with robots so much that the whole world was taken over by aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'd say like even if people don't want a sex robot, they can have a surrogate robot where they say, oh, here, we'll house your baby for you or house your fetus for you. And then, but in actual fact, they're not actually taking care of your baby. They're just,
Give me your fetus.
Give me
I
your
have some
fetus.
thoughts on this one, Ken.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, my plan's name was Disseminator and Deovulator.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, that was the
I like Disseminator. I think that's a good program name.
Disseminator. Okay, good.
And what, you didn't like the deovulator?
No, it's not as catchy. Like disseminate is already a word.
Oh my goodness, Ken.
I put a lot of thought in this.
Jim?
So my first point is kind of on like how you plan to like give everyone universal health care. First off, like there are people in the US who literally will not like get a vaccination, let alone stand for universal health care. How are you making everyone get sterilized on the same day?
See, that's where the backup plans of the disseminators come from. The backup of the Terminator sex robots and also the Terminator surrogate robots. That's where it comes from. That's my backup contingency plans for people who don't want to get sterilized on that day.
Right.
Right. A Terminator rips your balls off.
Yes. Cool. I hope it wouldn't be like that violent, but yeah, I get whatever floats your boat.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you guys want me to do some time travel, they can send a disseminator back in time and sterilize Sarah Connor so she can't have John Connor.
I mean, that probably would have been a simpler way to do it.
So wouldn't a simpler way be, Ken, to just have like a Terminator go back in time, try and woo Sarah Connor, and then like punch her straight in the uterus?
Oh my god.
I mean, it'd work. That's actually not a bad plan, Jim.
You know what? I like that plan. No. But no. Either one.
Because you only really need to sterilize one person.
I just feel like you're going...
I feel like there's too many steps in this plan.
What?
I feel like this plan relies on too many things happening.
Why is my plans too many steps?
No, I just something...
I put so much thought into this, guys. Nah, it's okay. I totally get it.
No,
I'm not very good at
it's
explaining
not a bad plan. It's just like I just feel like
It's not really in the spirit of killing everyone.
what? It's just slowly watching them die and not be able to have children.
I don't think. Yeah. Well, I think
even
that's
more.
better than. I think that's better than a nuclear holocaust.
At least it's quick.
But it turns out there was a whole resistance crew that came back out and tried to save everyone. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Are we ready?
Oh, I'm not ready. Wait. Oh, I actually don't know.
I feel like both of your plans go so far outside.
Yeah.
Like Jim's like going to fucking Mars and destroying the entire universe, and just as I just happened to kill Earth too. And Ken's is just like slowly watching everybody die off.
And yours is killing a 10-year-old girl.
It's simple. Simple yet effective.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Season 4 is starting off rough. We're all bad people.
I never said I was a good person.
I'm sure we'll be able to find something in the last 3 seasons.
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Emma.
Jim.
Yes! Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Well
What?
done,
All
Jimmy.
right. That's 1 in the bank.
I thought you liked Disseminator.
I like to say.
He preferred killing a small child over it.
Oh, you monster.
This podcast does not condone killing of small children. Please, for the love of God, do not take anything we've said seriously.
Yeah, please do not take anything seriously.
Can you play that thing we play at the start like twice just to make sure?
Just like add it back in here, our disclaimer.
Yeah.
Jim, like Ken, your plan was good, but I really enjoyed that Jim was able to get his 2 favorite things in his plan.
Yep. And he was actually super enthusiastic.
I could just tell how happy and excited you were about it too, Jim, and that kind of really sold it for me.
Space.
Spache.
So what you're saying is I should try and incorporate space into like
No.
every plan I come
No,
up
because
with
then
this
you know
season.
I'll get over it. I'll get over it.
Okay. All right.
And especially
all right.
when it's a fucking Star Trek episode.
Yeah, you get like 2 per season.
Ooh. So we're going to save my other one for Star Trek.
And if we potentially do it, what else is there that's like space themed?
That's interesting because like at least 5 of the other like things that we've got.
The goal for you then, Jim, is to avoid using space in any other space-themed ones.
Yes.
And then you will win because it'll be like, well, Jim, you went so far outside of space.
Yeah.
Like, well done.
Only one of the other like topics I have on this list of things to talk about this season doesn't involve aliens.
Well, then it's that one. That one you have to use the space on.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the ones we've got here.
What's your headline?
We're going with robot news. Everything is going according to plan.
Oh, the Terminator.
Simple. I like
Simple. Simples.
Simple. Fuck you, asshole.
Oh,
Fuck you,
aggressive.
asshole.
I will be back.
I will be back.
for me, big buns.
Oh, before we finish up, I came up with a new section called Dumb Ad Nation.
Please explain.
Oh, God.
So I have a fake ad.
I already don't like it.
Yes.
I discussed it with like Jim was like, "Oh, do you want your own section? What do you want to do? Do you want to do something?" I'm like, what about fake ads?"
I like this plan.
So I've got something like
This episode is brought to you by...
T1000 Terminators. Get your T1000 Terminators here. Christmas is coming up. We get your Christmas special model, Sand Terminator.
Every 10-year-old wants one under the tree.
Just leave a message on our 1984 accurate answering machine to order now. Call Terminator, Terminator, 837-646-2867 to order right now. Instant teleportation delivery may disintegrate everything within a 1 meter radius. Not suited for children under 18. Clothing, accessories sold separately. Batteries not included. Not suited for Sarah's and Connor's because we weren't able to program that out until the second movie.
That is funny how this movie has like all of the names in this movie are like very like early 2000s child names. Like Connor and Sarah and
And they're
Kyle.
all first names.
Reese.
Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor.
Traxler. Silberman.
Congratulations, Jim. Sorry, Jim.
Season 4 went out with a bang. Where Jim killed everybody in the universe. Well done, Jim.
All according to plan.
Thanks for that, friends. It was good to talk to you after so long. It's been
Yes,
so
yes.
long since our last proper episode.
Oh,
It really has been.
man. Welcome back, host Emma. Welcome back, host Jim.
Thanks, host Ken. I
Thanks, host
feel like
Ken.
it sounds like we're like got aliens in our bodies and like this is the host.
Imposter.
Next, you're the imposter.
Emma Sus. Host Emma Sus.
Ken sus.
Ken sus. Emma sus. Both sus.
Oh, it's Jim. We're evicting
Oh,
you,
damn
Jim.
it.
So I'm pretty excited about next time. We'll be
are
coming
you?
back and we'll be chatting about Man of Steel. And
Man of
prepare
Steel.
yourselves, everybody, because there is a shirtless Henry Cavill. Look, it's going to be a great episode, and I'm very much looking forward to rewatching this film because Henry. Not that I ever need an excuse, but you know it'll be good to have one.
Not to like spoil anything for next episode, but I feel like my opinion of this movie has changed a whole lot in the whatever 5-10 years, however long it's been since it originally came out. I remember being quite positive of the movie when it came out, but I think my opinion might have soured since then. But we'll save that for
Timothy.
next episode. Yeah.
Jimothy, no. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, I don't think.
Yeah,
So I'm going
Yeah.
to see what I think. Like, I think it's maybe been about 2 years, maybe, since I
Yeah.
watched it.
Mm.
So I shall watch it again. And, stay tuned, friends, because it's going to be an episode not to miss.
I apologize in advance if Emma's a bit short of breath next episode.
What? You're the one that called it a mate. Calm down.
It's
Yeah,
for
but
you.
we both know why he called it that.
Shh. It's not Geralt in the bloody bath. It's fine.
Hey.
Isn't there a bath scene in this sequel? Anyway,
Yeah, yes, there is. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
friends.
Bye.
Call me.
Thanks for listening to World Domination. You can find links to all of the things we've talked about, our other episodes, our merch, and our social media accounts at anchor.fm/worlddomination. If you'd like to tell us something, feel free to get in touch. And remember, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to tell your mum about it.